Hello YouTube. Gonna do another rock video from the stuff I got from my creek. I am definitely making a dent in it, cleaning it out, and let's see where we can get started. This is one that comes as a surprise when you wet it. And you can see it's got a little dent there, or a knock. But and it's got a skin on it from that creek. And when you get it wet, you are in for a surprise. This is the way it looks when I find it. It is just unbelievable how heavy. See, that's the skin there. It's wet. But what's really surprising with it is that joker lights up. And that is a very big rock. I mean, it's bigger than my hand. And you'll see as we go, it's got there's some stuff inside of this one. You can see little areas, but you see how perfect it is? There's no fractures at all. So this could be carved, cut, made into different things, whatever you'd want to do with it. That looks like an old healed fracture, but it doesn't go all the way through because I didn't see it on the other side. This is just some beautiful rock, and we'll get into it. I showed some yesterday that were into the reds, and it goes deep into different colors. Today I just grabbed stuff. I didn't really look because I never really kept anything that wasn't that I didn't like. I went ahead and wet this. Now, some of this is when I first started collecting, so you'll see fractures and things. It's before I stopped and learned what the fractures are actually going to do for me. See how beautiful that is? The water lines and stuff inside of it. See, I wouldn't have collected this one now. I'm really enjoying this. I should have done this a long time ago instead of waiting to the very end. You see how the top of that just gets extremely clear. I tried to set this up different today where I could have a better angle, and I did learn another trick. Boom. I learned how to zoom in. It's not going to help though if it's not focused, is it? We'll do that as we need it. But it was just something I tried this morning. I was like, man, I can zoom in. Yesterday I was wishing I could show people more detail. So here you go. I found several pieces that we'll get to them. Look at those dots in that. That's what attracted me to this. Not as great here, but it's got like holes in it. So that could be some kind of maybe wood, and that's just the wood grain that's filled with some kind of mineral. And that is total guess. I don't know if light shines through this or not. I will try it. Nope, not at all. So that's not going to happen. But I will try this. That is just amazing. I have never even seen it like that because it's just unreal. Let me see how far I can go in without getting blurred. I think the water, the glare from the water could actually be keeping it from focusing in. No. I just couldn't imagine what that would be like. I hadn't polished it. I've got a bunch of it. I've even got it in black with white and the opposite, like white with black. It's just, it comes in several different colors, but I've not been able to figure out what that is. I've not even asked. I actually forgot I had it. I was digging in that cooler this morning to find stuff, and there it was. And of course, I started remembering it. But you can see down the depth in that rock, and these gonna be one. This is gonna be some stuff that I'm gonna keep to actually work it and see what happens with it. Because I got my go back pal, and I've decided I'm not taking my stuff back to my creek. I might take it to another creek or find maybe a school that would want it. But I thought about it, and I thought, well, if I take it back to my creek, I'm gonna find that joker again. Because once your eye is knocked up on something, you'll find it 50 times. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna take it back to my creek because I'd love to hunt there, and that would just be me finding the same stuff I have already found, and y'all getting to see those pictures, and nobody wants that. I'm enjoying this. I believe I just found this is when I was first starting, and these oh, there's some fortification lines right there. Some of this stuff just has such a thick skin, it's hard to see what it is. And as you know, I hadn't cleaned anything. You can see those fortification lines going all the way around this. And it is a big rock. And of course, it's going to shine through. Not as much as I believed it would. So you can see those fortification lines better right there. Wet. Huh. I really thought that. Oh, I see what I'm going to do. Let me try this. Look at that. So you can see where there is solid structures inside of this. And then the areas where it is going to shine through. And then the different colors. But still, even if you take a blue rock and put that light on it, it comes through orange or red. A lot of times you're not going to shine a light and get blue light out of it. Let's see how that looks. Well, that's about as interesting as that one's going to get. That's sunlight coming in. Nothing like sunlight for you to see the real picture of something. Let me turn my light back on. Some lines. There's nothing. So you could imagine this cleaned, but I don't know. Maybe if it was cleaned, you couldn't see anything. But the whole thing, I'm saying, like if it was tumbled or just polished real good, there is no telling what this would look like done that way. I really like that zooming. That's going to help me a lot today. Because there's a lot of times yesterday where I was doing stuff and just wishing that I could actually come in. That's a piece of that wood. You know what? I don't know if that's what that is or not. Sometimes it gets tumbled so well that you just question. I start trying to figure out why I kept it. It does, you can see through, okay, it is that petrified wood. It's just you can only see through the Calcedony. I'm sorry. It's not coming over on the camera well because of the glare of that light. So we'll just do that another time. It's a beautiful stone. You can see the little, it's like it's full of little bitty agates. The round little spots. And that is all good for me, but it's going back somewhere. It's not going to be here. Not absolutely sure what this is. It's got some interesting structures inside of it. And you don't find a lot of pinks and reds and things like that down at the creek. You can see a lot of movement in that, like that big pink stone I had yesterday. And I like those that. And it's got something in it that's running through here. You can see the structure in there. That's going back. This is an interesting one. That is a big rock. I mean, I know this camera makes my hands look even bigger, but that is one heavy rock right there. And it is full of goodness. And this is dry. And it's got the little specks that I was talking about. Well, it's something how you can see one thing in this camera, and then when you look, it's a little different. Look at that top right there. Let me wet it. I really thought I'd get a little light going through that, because all that Calcedony. Look how pretty that is. You talk about a thick rock. And that line, that goes all the way around it. And then you can see right here where the whole line was exposed. And then like little formations coming out all through it. And I believe this orange is a stain because I've actually cut stuff and that it's not orange on the inside. That's the top of it. Well, I guess you'd call the top. That's the big end of it. I like this one. I'm not going to take this one back. I'll keep this. So it'll go over here. This looks like wood. Just the way it's moving. Let's look at it wet. Ain't that beautiful? Man, that's pretty. See, all that'll come off. That's just needs to be scrubbed. We just come home, had show and tell, and that would be it. I thought I had me a hair. That is actually a heel fracture. Let me pull my hands out of it. And try my newfound trick. That is just amazing. I really like that. So glad I remembered I could zoom in. I was just watching myself yesterday going over this stuff because I don't see it. I don't watch it. I just post it and it is what it is when it comes out. That's alive when you don't control what it is. I love the way that line's moving like that and meeting together there. That definitely looks like wood to me. It's just amazing, and we have a lot of ancient petrified wood, and I'm talking like 200 million years ago, because I found another piece of that colorful stuff I had yesterday. This is the piece I had yesterday. I just wanted to bring it back where I could. Of course, you can't find it. There it is. Okay. And I didn't find the whole rock. I just found another piece of it. And this is the one from yesterday. But we can look at it better now. Get that big old glare off of it. Because that's the end I'm most interested in. Are we starting to lose focus? Maybe so. You ain't got to be too big. We remember how this did. I don't want to shine this. That is some pretty stuff right there. I just like the way that those colors are just so different from each other on the same rock. And these little dark spots, they're not actually dark spots, they're clear. Push back out, man. This is the end piece. I guess they call that the butt from that same rock. Still got some oil on it from the saw. Yep, you can still see that. That's actually got a hole in it now. So I just caught the tip of it on that other piece. And that's what it looked like when I picked it up. So you would have had no idea that had any color in it. But you can see where that agate goes in it right there. And I guess that's what it is. I really don't know. But you can see why I picked it up. It was just full of it. Full of the different little things I look for. But I had no idea it was going to look like that when I cut it open. Because you can see how that red just stops right shy from the top. And I've got the whole rock somewhere. And I'm sure it'll show up as I dig through this cooler of rocks I have. I'll keep that to work. That's dry. Might as well just get them wet. I just like to show the dry, that way you can see the difference in it dry and how good it gets when it gets wet. I'm having a little problem downloading my stuff on YouTube. It took hours. And then when it finally gets up there, it's got me half cut off. And I know it is not doing it. It's me. But I'm just trying to learn. And I've learned not to download straight from Create. To load it into my phone and then load it myself. It's much faster. For some reason you'd think, you know, since they're from the same YT family, that it would all blend together real, like make it faster. I think they're working on it right now. I've noticed a lot of little things that are happening, and they can't close it down because we would all freak out. But they have to upgrade and do things like that while we're there. That's going back. Here is another piece of that wood. And you can see the agate right there and that. I guess that would be, I don't know if that's, I'm just so unsure of myself. Because it's Fortification Lines, and you can tell that it's clear. But see how it's chalky it looks? It's not actually chalky at all. I mean, it kind of feels like it, but that's what that creek is putting on it. And even wet, it's still, I'm going to zoom in on that spot. Let you see what I'm talking about. You can see the fortification lines now in that one little spot there. I'm not sure what that's called. I know it, I've heard it, but I'm on the spot, so you know how that goes. Your brain just blanks out. Pull that back in. And these are all like that. Each one of these little spots are those little, what I said was an agate, I don't know. But this again is that wood. And you can see into it. It's just the way this films here. You can't tell. You can see right here where it's coming through. And you seen yesterday what beautiful slabs it makes. It's just that light gets extra bright when you have it on this video. It's trying so hard to pick up everything. I think that's why a lot of times, excuse me, we see a lot of stuff that don't actually, it's not there. Because it's or that we can see. These cameras are high definition and they pick up everything. I'm not sure what this is. It's full of holes. It looks like an old, I just don't know. I just know it's solid. It's not sandstone. I can tell by the way it feels. I want to cut it and see what those holes are full of when you get down in it, because I know the color is going to be completely different. And you can see little bitty areas where they are full. It's just the outsides have gotten knocked off. Let's see if that'll focus. Yep, there it went. Oh, that's nice. I like that. But you see how all those holes are sort of got going up one way? It just interested me because I don't find a lot of stuff like that down there. And you can see kind of different colors. And from experience cutting those other rocks, I realize that you cannot judge a rock by its cover. I mean, the cover can give you some good ideas, but I've seen some beautiful rocks on the outside, then they'll cut them, and you got an ugly rock. That's Jasper. That's like the one I cut yesterday that made that cabochon. It's just this one. I wish this one was as big as that one I had yesterday. Because that's pretty. I'm going to keep that. And I didn't think it was what it is because of the way it reacts to water and all that. But then when I polished it and seen that it took a forever shine, it changed my mind. It's a beautiful rock. I've never seen it like this before. It tries to focus in on these little glares over here. See that line running through there? That's like a Calcedony running through it. So is these over here. So it'd be like little agates forming. I don't know if they have an agate jasper, but you can definitely see that there. No telling how pretty that's going to be. I almost said when it grows up, when it's polished, but I'll keep that one. These are very interesting. The creek is full of it. It's iron. And this is one that I found that was open. All of them have like geodes. And they'll be full of red, like a red colored, like a deep dark red colored sand. And when I seen that, I thought, man, I could do something and fill that joker up with something and then polish that whole top off. And this one's a little different because usually if it's iron like what I'm talking about, my hands get a bad smell just from touching it. And I'm not getting it off of this. So this is a little different than what I thought. Wet it. I thought about treating it like you do a iron skillet, just to see what would happen with it. Get it real hot, put some oil on it, see if it'd go straight black like a treated. But you can see inside that how it goes red. When I start cutting, I'll cut one. I've got several I keep. Well, when I first started, I was keeping them. Then I realized how bad they made my hands stink. This one's not doing it, so this is something different right here. This is not what I think it is or thought. It's different because I'm not getting the smell off of it. And I'm going to keep that because I want to put something in it, polish it down. It's another piece of that wood. Agatized, really old wood. You can see those right there. That's what makes those sunsets when I slice it. That beautiful stuff running through. And usually if it has a round shape like that, nope, it ain't gonna come through. Nope. But it will when you cut it. That's going back. There's too much going on with it. I can tell. Cut it and it'll be full of fractures. This is some of the first stuff I was getting. It'd probably be beautiful just polished whole. This is another. Well, no, this is like something totally different. That's gonna be pretty wet. I can see color under there. I always have to figure out why I kept them. And I can see why there's like a deep dark red in there. And it goes all the way around. That light is actually going into that rock. You just can't. It's just, this light's just too bright for this camera. That you can actually see. I wonder if I zoomed in if that would show you the color. Nope. This to go back. I can always tell what I got before, because I wouldn't dare pick that up now with all them cracks and stuff in there. Only thing that'd be good for is to polish the whole thing, and then you might not have nothing. Not doing that anymore. That's a big old nice one. That's another one of them glowers. Look at that. I just really love these because how pretty they are. And that's with all the lights on. I can't turn it off because I got this. My whole front bay windows just wide open, and that's outside in. But you can see the structure inside of there. You can see those patterns. Ain't no telling how big this was when it first started its journey, but it's totally worn down now enough to, let's see if I can do something like this. That's just orange. Thought I was gonna see something. It's still a big, beautiful rock, and that's dry, completely dry. Don't know how much of a change it's gonna have wet. But there's nothing like sunlight. When I'm out in that creek and I hold that joker up, I mean, you talk about something pretty. Because when I'm sitting here with it, well, you can see a little bit. You can see water lines running through it. You can see there's a pinkish color here and here. And there's some red coming in here, and that's really clear crystal there. And then you can see some lines in that right there. Some structures. And then more water lines running all through it. Through here. And there's no fractures. A couple of things had a little crack, but there's something. But it's not going through. That's something that knocked out and wore off. So I'll keep this one. Because I'm thinking about making just, I've got some wood. I thought maybe I could drill a hole through it and bring a light up through it. And then set one of these beautiful rocks on top of it. This is some pieces I found on my creek. And boy, don't you know, I wish that was petrified. That would have been nice. And one day I'll find me some beautiful stuff like this petrified. It's a nice piece of wood. But I thought about drilling a hole in there somehow and having a small LED light right here and then putting that big rock on the top of it somehow, or even a small one, and then having that light make that thing glow like that. Could even set it up because it is pretty. I've got a couple of pieces of that stuff. I don't think it's gonna be this thing is not gonna be big enough to get some of this. It's not often that I find this. And then when I do, I grab it because of them lines. Look how beautiful that is. And that would make a beautiful showcase log, because I mean, it looks just like a fish when you're holding it. It's got the bottom fin down here, and it's got this big, huge top fin. And then it just looks just like a head. Or you could do it the other way. Have that big fin coming down, small fin going up. There's the eye. And there's the mouth. So that would make a beautiful piece. Cleaned up, polished. Or I just like it natural. But to tell you the truth, it's just sitting there taking up space. But I'm going to keep it for a little while longer. Here's one more I really liked. Let me clean my table off a little bit. I love these knots like this. And I'm not sure what kind of wood it is because it's old enough not to have a smell. Usually I know wood by the... It's heavy. See a knot there. But it is really beautiful. And some of the weight could possibly be, you know, sand or stuff that may be collected. But I doubt it. You can see the end of that limb right there. Or root. But I don't see any like bug damage or anything like that. But if you've seen down in my creek, we have a lot of tornadoes and stuff, so there's gonna be lots of roots and different things like that that collect. This is a rare one, and you'd have to feel of it to really appreciate why I kept it. And let me wet it. It would be easy to you could get a couple of nice slabs out of that if you cut them thin. It just looks like it's bleeding. And we all know I have a bloodstone video playing now. YouTube near you. That's nice. Once this camera got a mind of its own, Bubba. Once it decides it's gonna focus in on something, that's what you gonna get. It's amazing going on this journey. I just really thought it was it. I mean, I knew I had places I was gonna go and things I was gonna see in other countries and things like that, but I never thought that it would have been in my backyard. I guess I'll keep, no, I'm not, I'm gonna throw that back. It's going back. This right here, I don't know what this is, but I like it. I like the way it feels. It seems like it must have been clay or something that just turned to rock. I can't help myself but to pick it up when I'm down there searching. It just something, I'm going to do something with it. I'm not taking any of this back. I like it. It's easily shaped, and I can just see me doing something with that. Maybe initials or anything, and doing an inlay of whatever inside of it. Don't believe it would hold a shine. I've never tried. Just don't think it would. But something inside of it that does hold a shine would be absolutely beautiful. I don't know why I'm attracted to it the way I am. I just like it. I don't know why. It's not everywhere, but there's, it's there. And when I spot it, I get it. I had a piece of it round yesterday. Go ahead and wet this. It'll be a lot prettier wet. But you could see how somebody that was brand new to this and had never seen anything like that in their life, how that just really changed everything. When I got down there and found this, it was like, man, my whole life, I never knew we had such stuff. I'm going to pull my hands out. It's like, who would have thunk that Alabama had such as that? Nobody ever showed me anything like this before. And I've seen some beautiful stuff now that I've been looking around. So I'm going to be out in that Alabama River this summer, because they've got some stuff that I'm just in one little spot that's about a mile wide, mile long. My creek ain't probably 10 feet wide. Some places 2. But I'm feeling much better now. Since I've been playing with these rocks last few days, I got rock counting fever so bad, I almost talked myself into going this morning. It's like, no, man, it's just still too cold for me to get out there in my wet feet. Anything we do here, it's a pretty good ride because we're so far out in the country. But man, do I like it. Look how pretty that is. Man, you can't tell me that ain't pretty. You can see some lines in it like that. I just like it when you shine it in one end and that whole joker. You see that divide right there. Look at how that lights up separately. Boom. Oh, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. So I guess that'd be 3 different layers. I like that. I'm gonna keep that. I'm just gonna go ahead and wet them. Getting into that 3-4 hour download mess. This right here, man, look at this. See this little bitty? That's what I would call an agate. If I'm wrong, somebody please let me know what that's called. When they're just little bitty ones all up, all over it like that. You see that dark mineral going down into it right there. You can see a line of it running through here. But then there it starts again. See, they're just everywhere. Those little bots with the fortification lines in them. See if I pull out and let it focus in. See how close I can get to that. Get that pretty one in there. If I could quit making it earthquake. I'm just so rough. I can't touch stuff easy. And when I noticed in that video yesterday, it looked like we was having an earthquake. Hopefully we don't have anything like that here, because I believe we'd sink. Nope, it's not coming through. That's a beautiful rock though. I'm gonna keep that one. Just because of those, I'm just curious to cut that open. Just right down the middle there. Go straight through just to see what that's gonna look like opened up. Because you can even see here, all of that is one. You can see the, let it down. Like if I pat it, it's gonna do better. I keep trying to move the rock with the camera, sliding my finger on it. And that's not gonna happen. But you can see this here, if I can touch it. That line, it's got it's just fortification lines all swirled in together. And I'm not sure what those that black will be on the inside. It's going to be dots. So hopefully that's an indication of what's inside, because I see it there too. Let me fix my focus. Yeah, it's there on the end. I'll keep that. Trying not to keep anything. I don't know why I am. Here's another piece of that stuff I like. See how it's perfectly shaped. So you could just leave it as is. And then you can just put something on it, in it, because it's really thin. It's not heavy, but it's definitely, this is the other piece, it's definitely rock. Wet, same thing, just darker. And you can see how it absorbs that water so quick. I'd love to do something with that stuff. Just been all me since I started doing this. When I found it, I knew, I was like, man, ain't nothing to that. That's just whatever it is. But it just kept, it's like it calls at me. It's like, you like this, you like this. So it's got a little weight to it. But and you can see little pieces of different things that are trapped in it. I believe it's just riverbed, like that clay, and just turned to stone, fossilized. But I like it. I believe that I'm going to be able to do something with that. Just to carve it out, place a stone inside of it or something. It's going to be something. Because I can't bring myself to get rid of it. Here's another piece of those dots. Just see, it's got black ones. Somebody tried to tell me this was what's the stuff that when they're making things, it comes off of it. But then it's not. It's actually a stone. Let me find a good place. Remember the other one had the straight white. This is white and black. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. If it don't focus in on that water. That is amazing. Because you can actually see down into that and see all those individual dots. And I do not know what that is. And it's not slag. That's what I was trying to think of. Had an old timer look at it. And one of the guys just blurted out slag real quick. And he's like, nope, that's not slag. You could tell by the structure, by the stone itself. And I have not polished it. I should have. But those dots are just mesmerizing, that they can be black and white, clear, and that you can see into that so well. It's like frog eggs. You might not have ever seen them, but we get a big old nest of them here in Alabama. But that is just, that's going to be something when I finally polish that up. If you know what that is, y'all let me know. I got to hurry up because I want to keep this under a certain amount of time just to download it. You can see all that structure running through there. It's the same with those that other rock that has the little, what I was calling agates, just or big Calcedony. No, is it? Yep, that's it. Just huge lines of it running all through it. See, as soon as I put my hand in there, that phone runs for me. And you can imagine how pretty that's going to be cut with all that clear material running through it, and those pinks and oranges. That's going to be a pretty rock. But you know how rocks are. You really cannot tell by the cover. But I can see orange coming out of it. That's going back. No, I think I'll keep that. There we go. Those are those markings that I was speaking about. I was told to look for those. And those were markings of Calcedony and Agate. And I'm not sure about that, because the way I do, I can think I know something and I don't. And I am not ashamed of that, because I've always liked to learn. Just it seems like the older you get, the less that sticks with you. That's not coming through. It does, actually. Let me pull this out. You can see where it is coming through there. It's just this bright in here. That's going to be a pretty stone. And you can, anytime it's got those patterns right there on it, you know it'll take a polish. So I guess that would be that Calcedony marks. Because I said that yesterday, I looked it up. And the cause of that, I'm going to keep that. It's from it banging around in that creek after it gets shattered. Now this one here, man, you can see through it. Dry. It's got some nice colors running in there. And those water lines. It's something how it makes that cross so much. Boy, you get your hand wet. It's like getting soap on your hands. Your nose starts itching. Yeah, that's going to shine through. Oh, I might need to. Yeah. Yep. Let me make that smaller. There we go. There you go. You can see that through there. I don't know how well y'all can see that. A lot of times it'll look blurry to me on here, but then when I watch my video, it comes out pretty good. I've gotten really lucky with that. I'm going to keep this, because that joker is really pretty when you start looking at those white lines right there. But I can see color inside of this. And that's deep. So it's like a water line, I guess. Like this is deep. Not deep enough to go through. But I think it was formed like that. But you can see a swirl coming up and moving up right there. I'm bad about that, y'all, getting down here because I'm looking at it. Sorry about that. I'll keep that one. I'm going to try to move a little faster. You know, yesterday, I showed you this. That's one of my favorite pieces that I found down there. And, of course, I'm going to get it wet where I can look at it again. Because yesterday we didn't get to do this. And today we get to look a little bit closer. It's really pretty. I mean, when you hold it, you just know you got something pretty in your hand. But I found another one that I'd found. It's just worn down. So I got lucky that I found mine while it was like it was. This is one of them. It's just been worn down to where, well, you know what? I'm wrong. It looked like one dry. Well, it is. It's just been worn down so bad I can see all the different shapes in the circles. But it's got a host rock on it right there too. So I'm not, oh, there it is. See those fortification lines on the side of it? Let me see if I can prop that. I want it to stand up like that where I can zoom in on it. There we go. It's not going to work unless I got it like that. Well, that's not working. Now there it goes. It got it. Kind of confusing, but it's trying its best to do it for me. It's that glare right there that knocks it out. And now it's trying to pick up this bottom rock. Okay, let's play them. Gotta get this knocked out. So I want to get these rocks out of here. That's another, like I was showing yesterday. That's what I was going to do too. I forgot I'll do it tomorrow. I'm going to get the ones that I've polished up from my mother. This stuff right here, man, it really is just a jewel. I love it. It just has so many. It's unbelievable. It looks magical when you work it because of the way that flow happens in there, and that it's completely, I mean, it's just beautiful. You got to remember, this has got a skin on it. And it really does do some pretty stuff. That light's just too bright. I was trying to show that structure, man. It's like honeycomb inside when you can see it. But if I get in there, this camera light, it knows to focus for that skin. It's just some beautiful stuff. It's like clouds running in it. I'm going to start making some stuff out of this one. These. Because they're like one of my favorites. And if you see a piece, when you see this pieces I've got polished up, you'll understand why. 'Cause it really polishes up. This right here is just full of little spots. Uh, in my imagination, this was once inside of something. But it just amazes me that this is all down there in my creek. And when I find these little pieces like this, I know it's like, man, you can find some big ones. That's all I think. When I find this little stuff, these samples like this, it's like, let me wet it. Them big jokers are down there just waiting to be found. Wonder if I did this. Yep, don't have nothing else to focus on now. Now I can just slide this joker around. That is a nice little rock. I'd like to have one big as my fist. And they're there. Trust. I just know they are. I can feel it. And I'll find it. That's why I'm getting rid of this stuff from the summer. Where I can get in there and start finding stuff for 25. Because right now it's too cold for me to get out there. Which I don't believe that's going to hold me back much longer. Because I'm not going to be able to contain it. And you think too, this is not clean. And that does shine through. Let me make this smaller here. You can see that it comes through. I just really like. Oh, what do you know? It does have sparkle. Didn't know that. Yeah, you can see those little bots must be hollow. Because the ones that are broken seem to have holes in them. And I think that's what those little holes on the outside's about. Alright, keeping that. I like the special stuff. It's another piece of that goodness that I like. See, I wouldn't have kept this anymore. But it's got a fracture right there. But I believe that a lot of these fractures are healed. You can see the difference in the color in that one. It is a burgundy color when I'm looking at it. And it's got a lot in it because you can see that light coming through there, that red. But it's not glowing like them other ones did. I mean, you can tell it wants to. And it has a thick skin, but it has got a dark, rich color in it. Look at that. See how rich that is? Because there is a difference. Some will shine white, and then you go into different shades of yellows, into oranges. But when you hit that red, and then you can actually see it from looking at it in that light. Overdo the red, the light. That's that natural sunlight hitting it. That's always the best for me. It's hard to tell, but that's clear. Then all the other stuff, it's like the waves and things that are inside of it. Get out of it. It's something how this camera will determine and think of its own what to do with something. But that is going to be a gorgeous rock. Polished up, cut. You wouldn't believe how heavy it is to be so, well, it's not really small, but that's a good sized rock. It's hard to figure out where you're coming from. Oh, there it is. See those stripes? That is just amazing. Because they go all the way through like that. That stripe does. There's a knock in it. See, I got a blind spot where this joker's holding the camera. Uh-oh. Flat focused in on something. When I said blind spot. And yesterday I noticed everything was like this on my video. Just like I was all over here. So I'm trying my best to keep this joker lined up today. I'm going to hurry too because I don't want to make a huge 5-hour video to download it. This is another piece of that wood. Because yesterday when it ended, or that day before, I didn't have time to sign off. And apparently I didn't realize that it even ended. Because I didn't do my sign off I like to do. And you know, I'm really enjoying this. And I'm not going to let anybody mess with me. It's just strange because the people that were calling themselves my friends have just really acted strange towards me, and I don't understand it. I'm the same dude. It's like I just don't comprehend what happened or what's going on, and I can't. I've talked to somebody and they said you just have to move forward. You cannot dwell on that. You got to move forward. See that red in there? How beautiful that is. But it's like some people I really, you know, I mean, I know we don't really know each other, but I've run into some strange characters too. I mean, I'm talking about whoop whoop strange. I might not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but I'm gonna tell you what. When strange hits you upside the head, if you don't run, you about dumb. Unbelievable. Some of the stuff that can happen on this joker here. And all of a sudden you in it and you ain't even know what you's doing or nothing. It's like, my God, because I am be the first one to apologize for something wrong that I've thought or said or done. And I try my best not to. I don't even do negative comments. And I really like to work with people. But ain't nobody wanting to work with me. And I can do that too. I'm doing this all by myself for a minute. I'm new at this. And I can stay just like I am. This right here, it's like everything inside of this, but the host rock's gone. Well, most of it. And it just left the Calcedony. It should have light. Yep, it does. Shines right through. I know that's bright, but I'm just trying to show you. It's so neat at night when you sitting there holding that light and that joker just flares up on you. Let's see if I can do this. You might be able to see it a little bit. All that lights up. All this right here. It all lights up. Don't know what that is. It's thin. And I like the way it feels. And it's got these beautiful black dots all in it. Let me bring that back down. But it looked prettier up close, didn't it? Go ahead and leave it alone. Keep on hitting this joker like it won't move. And I keep trying to move the rock with my finger on the actual phone. It's like, man, it ain't gonna move. But yeah, that joker looks like a clear stone, and then you can just see the little black specks inside of it. And it's extremely thin, like a wafer. So it wouldn't take much to do something with that. I just like anything, see how you can see it one way. Guess that's that way with anything. If away from that light, it does better. See if I can touch that and make it, nope, still hitting it. Make it focus in. It's a nice little rock. I'll keep that, because I can just see something else with that. And that is completely smooth. I like it. It's just another heavy little rock that I like. Got a lot of structure to it. And you can see the color in it, and those healed, those look like water lines, because I can see depth into that, going way into it. So it's like a shelf inside there going back. Man, I should have done this black a long time ago. But yeah, that's not a fracture. Well, you know what? Might be wrong. Could be a heel fracture. But look, there's some dots right there. See them dots? It is just amazing to me the things you can find inside of a rock. Just absolutely amazing. Yep, that shines through. That shows you what it's made out of when it lights up like that. Maybe if I didn't have it full blown, it wouldn't be so bad. That makes a great picture when you're taking pictures. When that joker flares up like that around the edges, it's like a volcano. I am just about done. Hooray! That's just another piece of that. And those look like layers, but they're actually, let me turn it this way. And all that stuff that looks like cracks, it's not. It's healed. Well, I guess it was a crack one time or another. But all those, it's all flat. It looks like it has structure, but it don't. It's flat. I really like the zoom. If I show this or not. That's another piece of that wood that's just full of that chalcedony. It's like most of the wood is gone, petrified wood, and just the chalcedony's left. So it's like just a whole bunch of little agates held together. And polish, that's going to be beautiful. Because I'm going to polish it. And I can do a good job on polish. Well, you know what? Looks like I hit it. Right there. That's me. That's a hit right there on the wheels. So I must have took it in with me and hit it a little bit and seen what I wanted, and that's why I kept it. There, yeah, I did hit that. That's been worked there. I went all the way around it, so yeah, I started that and quit for whatever reason. A lot of times we just run out of time. You'd be surprised how fast 7 hours jumps by when you're on that wheel. I mean, it goes quick. It's like being on this camera. You sit there and run your mouth, and all of a sudden your time is gone. That's a piece of steak. That's a pretty little rock. I like those structures and those bubbles inside of it like that. There's another one of those. And of course, we're going to hit it with the light. And that joker glows beautifully. Well, let me bring it down. It can be manageable. Look at that, how beautiful that is. And you know, it'd be different if it was pitch black in here, but that is pure daylight, and that joker shining that red. It's unbelievable. That light's coming straight through that rock. And it's as dirty as it is with the skin on it. And you can't tell me that ain't a beautiful red rock right there, and that's gonna make a beautiful clean stone. Because I'm gonna do it. That's light. Look at there, it'll take shine from a distance. I could be out here now too much. That's just amazing to me. Alright, I believe I'm just about done. Yep, I am done. I found these, but this is Katie did stuff that I cut. Katie did send me a box of rocks. Well, she sent it to my mother. It was one of the best things, man. She sent my mother a box of rocks and a birthday card. And you talk about a happy lady for a birthday. This is in the middle of that COVID mess. And we couldn't go nowhere to do anything. That's an agate. A Montana agate. I appreciate y'all. I truly do. I enjoy all my new people that's come in and watching my stuff and commenting. I'm overwhelmed. The joy is just unexplainable. I do appreciate it all. I want everybody to be blessed. I don't just say that just because it's a word and something I could end my stuff for. I do want people to be blessed. I want you to look at things in a different way. When you see something negative, try to find the positive in it, because negative stuff can teach you. It has taught me a lot, and I have had to change my ways, and not because of YouTube. I started this journey years ago trying to think negative when I had that trying to think positive. When that negative hits me, I'll say out loud when I first started, no, I'm thinking positive, no negative, because it takes a while for your brain to stop. And if you're gossiping, you got to quit. And if you're listening to gossip, you got to remember the person that's telling you that. You got to beware of the bearer of bad news. Beware. Because a lot of times they're not telling you what they said to the other person to make them speak such bad words about you. So beware of those who spread bad things about people. Find out for yourself. Get to know them. And you'll find out sometimes you misjudge people. Especially people you don't know, because they're on YouTube and you're seeing them put their best foot forward. So be careful. Just look out. Enjoy yourself. That is the main thing about this whole adventure, is to be enjoy. And, if you're in a clique, it's best just to get out of it. Just do your thing. Enjoy yourself. Have your fun. Don't let people tell you how to run your channel and what you should and what you shouldn't do, or what you might need to do. Do your channel and do what you want to do. Now, if you ask for help, that's fine. That's a different roller coaster. But when somebody's got more time than you on here, or all the other little factors that count, somehow that goes to their head and they start thinking they can tell you what to do, and commenting negative stuff on your channel and making you feel bad. And it got into my head at first. And then I learned to let it go, and I learned to pass it. So you do that. Be positive, though. Even those bad things make me learn. I learned that I need to stay to myself. I'm new. I'm glad to be here. I'm ecstatic about all the things that are happening and the things I have planned. But I'm glad I've learned these lessons early, to where now I don't have to do it. I know what's coming when I make a decision to let that happen to me. And I don't blame other people. I blame myself. It takes two. If I put myself in there, then buddy, there I am. And I can pull myself out just as easy. But anyway, y'all be blessed. That was not a negative comment. That was positive, because I want people to really be positive about their life and be blessed. It is easier to be blessed and be positive than it is to be negative and be miserable. Because when you're negative, there ain't nothing happy about you, and you know it. And I think that's what we do sometimes, is when we're hurt or feel, because I've said it, hurt people hurt people. Well, and you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. So when you see people disrespecting themselves, they can't respect you. Anyway, that's just something I wanted to say. Didn't even know I was going to say it. I appreciate y'all's time. I went in 1 hour, 30 minutes. So if you made it this far, good for you. Y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful day.